Well, Desiree, we are inside a family home where President Cyril Ramaphosa is currently getting their views. I'm just going to ask my colleague Tabiso to show you visuals of the president getting the message from the family. We're going to throw in our mic as well once they've done speaking and ask the president a few questions.
No. Talking to the family, please.
Probably with us once this is done. We're going to speak to him, but he is engaging with them, getting their views, as we did also hear him speaking on the issue of Iran and of issues of ESCOM. But you can see that these conditions that the family are living under are deplorable conditions. Hopefully the president will try and step in and make sure that the family's living conditions are uplifted as they are here as the ANC to issue their January 8 statement, but also to assess the implementation of how government has gone thus far, particularly here in the Northern Cape and in Kimberley. We've seen the Premier of the province, Zamani Saul, speaking of issues of poverty, unemployment and inequality, particularly in the Northern Cape, and how the President speaks to address those issues. In his January 8 statement, he says that they will, as the ANC, be addressing the issues of deplorable conditions that the people are facing, issues of the economy of the country and how jobs can be created. But whilst doing so, communities here, particularly in Colville, are asking the president and are putting politicians to account for what they are doing in government.
Samkele, the Northern Cape is known as the poorest province in the country. So if in Gauteng, for argument's sake, we're complaining about load shedding, that problem is even exacerbated in that province. What sort of issues have you heard coming out from the citizens in terms of the problems they are facing?
The citizens are raising issues of ESCOM, issues of poverty, and yesterday evening there was load shedding, particularly in Kimberley. I saw one tweet of one resident saying that indeed the ANC is in town when load shedding only lasts for 30 minutes, whilst it usually lasts for longer hours. I did get a call from one of the ESCOM executives yesterday asking me what is the process and what are they doing going forward towards load shedding and how they will be addressing it, and even going as far as to asking me what time will the president be speaking on Saturday, saying that we may anticipate more load shedding for the country. That was a call that I received from someone in the ESCOM's leadership structures. So it basically tells you that the issue of the grid still being constrained is still there, but community residents are raising issues of poverty, unemployment, and issues of service delivery such as ESCOM. But just to show you some of the conditions that people are living under in Kimberley, my colleague Tabiso is showing you some of what we are seeing inside this RDP house that we are currently in, where the president is currently engaging with the family. We tried to put in a few questions, but the president said that he is still currently engaging with the family, and we will try to further ask questions unless if Kusela Diko, the spokesperson of the president, tries to prevent us from asking those questions. Desiree.
Okay, Samkele Maseko, our colleague, is with the president. Perhaps let's go in and listen into the conversation the president is having with that family.
No, we can't currently take visuals of that conversation that the president is having with the family, as he decided not to let us speak to him. But I'm going to try and bring in Senzo Mkhunu, the Minister of Public Administration, and Sibongile Pisani, the head of the president. I'm going to start with the ANC's Minister, Senzo Mkhunu of Public Administration and Service. Minister, this family is living under deplorable conditions. You as the ANC and government, how are you going to rectify this situation?
No, let's talk about how the ANC looks at a situation like this. And this is what we're discussing, and this is why the president is here. And this is why the local leadership took the president to come here. From the ANC perspective, this is not what we would like to see. It's undesirable. It's something that we should find a way out of, so that these people live a normal life like any other person. So what we're going to do is talk to the ANC locally, up to province, to say, can't we come together, find a solution of one kind or the other, because it's a generational issue here. Koko, daughters, children, and so on. It might go to the fourth generation. So obviously you need to break the family, get a house or find an extension. But in order to arrive at those solutions, you need to talk to the local leadership first, and this is what we are here for. Now, once a solution has been found, at least in terms of the ideas, you can then see whether you approach private business or you go to government. Either way, there must be a solution. Otherwise, we've seen, and this is not acceptable, and it's not desirable, it's not healthy, and it's something that we have to do something.
When is the implementation, Minister?
Pardon?
When is the implementation? When is the implementation?
Well, the implementation starts as soon as we go out of the house, meaning we have to engage. I'm not saying implementation in terms of finding or building a house somewhere, but I'm talking about engaging local leadership. As soon as they come out, Zamani Soul, the chair of the ANC in the province and the premier of this province is here. So I've got to say to him as national leadership, now look, this is an extraordinary situation. Let us find a way, and the only way is to break the family, either by extension or getting them to go elsewhere where we can find an alternative accommodation.
Mr. Pisani, as the head of the ANC presidency, will you be monitoring the implementation of this particular project?
Monitoring and evaluation resides in the presidency with regards to the ANC setup. Indeed, what we have been doing from where we come from, we've been taking issues that really require attention. Like Comrade Senzo has said, that we do engage with the local leadership to say, look, we know that you have resolved some of the issues here, but we think you must also resolve them. So we are also agreeing on time frames and so on. So we will be following up indeed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samkele Maseko and Mr. Senzo Mkhunu, the Minister of Public Administration and ANC, NEC and NWC. I'm just going to ask my colleague Tabi, so just to try and grab these particular neighbors and how they view the ANC, particularly in the area. Good morning, ma'am. How are you? Can we just ask you a few questions, if you don't mind? They seemingly are afraid to speak. They are running away from answering some of the questions that we may have to them as residents of this particular area. But there is largely a huge contingent of community members, particularly gathered here to try and see and speak to the president. I'm going to see if we can get the views of this particular youth in this particular area. Young people of this particular area, what are your perspective when it comes to the issues that you are facing in this area? Yeah, it's fine. You can speak here. You can speak. No, you can speak here.
Ons sukkel baie met werk tog hier meneer asseblief. Ek vra julle tog baie mooi. Ons moet tog net werk, want ons net in die miskraam uitbly asseblief. Ons is werkloos en die mense se pay, die mense se pay ook net 'n bietjie kan opgaan en so aan. Asseblief, nou moet ons mense aan mense roof en so aan. Ons soek jy goed en soek net werk. Om uit die tronk uit te bly, dat ons net kan werk van ons verantwoordelikheid. Dankie.
What is your view, sir, when it comes to issues that you are facing in this particular area? Any of you also wants to put in their views? Well, they are speaking on how they are facing issues of unemployment. Ma'am, what are the issues that you are facing in this particular area? Well,
onze unemployment rate is groot hier. En wil ons al die jong mense wat hier so staan, ons almal is unemployed soos ons hier so staan. En ons nodig werk om ons vir ons kinders te provide sien.
But thank you. That was one of the youths in this particular area. Speaking of issues of unemployment as well, we did engage with other community members who were raising issues of unemployment, poverty, inequality, and what was largely alarming, some youths whom we did engage with, raising issues of the ANC as an organization being corrupt, engaging with Zizi Kodwa, who's the Deputy Minister of State Security, saying it's rather concerning that youths, particularly at the ages of 7 and 8, 9 and 10, are perceiving the African National Congress as a corrupt organization.
Samkele, you're scaring the neighbors away there. It's quite interesting.
Yes, indeed. I'm going to try and... Yes, indeed. It's quite interesting that neighbors are waving and moving away. I can see Kusela Diko shaking her head that we want to pose a question, but we will not take Kusela's instructions. We will indeed pose those questions to the President of the Republic of South Africa. Hopefully, he will try and answer us those questions. Mr. President, just a few questions from the SABC. What engagements did you have with this particular family?
We will talk to you later.
Mr. President, there are pressing issues in the country such as ESCOM. How do you address these issues?
Oh no, you've been asking me the same question. What do we broken record, Ngogo?
But you must answer them, Mr. President. These are pertinent questions. Well, that is the President of the Republic of South Africa and the President of the ANC saying, we've been asking these questions repeatedly, saying like you are like a broken record, saying he will speak later, always saying we will speak later, just like he said on Iran.
Samkele, I suppose we are going to keep asking these questions as long as these situations, these issues prevail. But what I found interesting was that the people you were talking to, the community members, were so jovial even as they were raising important issues.
Indeed, that was very alarming. I'm going to bring in the Premier of the province and Chairperson Zamani Saul on the issues that this family was facing and the issues they raised with the President. Zamani, how are you going to address these issues that the family has been raising with you as the Premier and Chairperson and the President of the ANC and of the country?
No, the family is on the housing list. So we'll just have to look how far they are on the list. And we've also asked the mayor of the town together with the executive manager for housing infrastructure to come and check how best they can assist.
What is the time frame of resolving this particular situation?
No time frames, but they are on their way now to meet with the family.
No, thank you very much, Premier Zamani Saul. He says that they are on their way to meet with the family. That is those who are responsible for government here, which is the administrative part of this particular government of Kimberley, that they will come and assist this particular family. But indeed, Desiree, the issues that you are raising about Pesani, Samkele Pesani, the head of the ANC presidency, and the Minister of Public Administration and Service, Senzo Mchunu, and how they looked rather jovial on how they were addressing this issue and didn't have that sympathetic, one may say, body language or facial expression from them, speaking that they are concerned and this is a matter of urgency of basically uplifting the social economic upward mobility of this particular family is rather worrying indeed.
Samkele, let's let you go to cover the next stop, but thank you so much for this update.